we were in conversation with my colleague here at the SABC tracking the story, Canny Maphanga, and she joins us live now. Canny, once again, as you and I were talking about what the evidence leaders had to say as far as that independent medical examiner is concerned, but now when you listen to Mr. Suliman Carrim's lawyer, he was unhappy with some of what the evidence leaders had to say, speaking about the fact that it appears as if the bona fides of the treating doctors are also coming under scrutiny here. Perhaps we talk about that and the fact that now the commission has to make a decision about when does he appear before it, if at all.
Indeed, Bongiwe, it seems that Suliman Carrim's legal team took the position that the credibility, if I could put it that way, of the medical reports was being questioned here. And that's not necessarily the issue. It's the fact that the position has changed and that the evidence leaders themselves are not in a position where they can pronounce on the health condition or whatever the case may be with respect to Suliman Carrim. That is why they're asking for that independent medical examination to test the facts, and they're well within the authority, as Justice Madlanga has stated, to challenge the facts that have been put forth with respect to the medical condition of Suliman Carrim, because you are seeing that there is a pattern of fluctuating versions with respect to what may have been taking place, and the Commission just needs to ascertain what really is the concern here. But the crux of the issue is that the Commission doesn't want to reach a point, or rather the evidence leaders are advancing that they don't want to reach a point where they are held by this medical condition, where that if they postpone again, this issue arises yet again. They want a fixed postponement of the 14th of August. And they wanted to be set with that particular condition that an independent medical examination must take place. We've heard the lawyers of Suliman Carrim state that they haven't taken instructions with respect to that, but it's not about discrediting, according to the evidence leaders, the other medical opinions. It's the fact that the position has changed and they are contradicting facts with respect to this, and that is what is being challenged by asking for that independent medical examination. Now, the Commission is yet to give a ruling on this particular issue. It seems that the ruling will be reserved and will be given at a date yet to be announced and communicated, and we'll get an idea as to whether or not Suliman Carrim will have to appear before the probe, or will he be subpoenaed to give over that information of the auditor, or will he be subjected to an independent medical examination as requested by the evidence leaders, and what the implications of such an action could be. And if he refuses to do so, then what are the next steps for the Madlanga Commission? And all of this leads us to the question as to whether or not we'll ever hear from the Northwest businessman, that is Suliman Carrim. He's a key witness in terms of the SABC Medicare contract, in terms of the tender patterns that the Commission is now exploring. It is something that Lieutenant General Dumsani Khumalo touched on in his evidence in chief, that often when you speak of these alleged cartels, they double up with a lot of different elements. It's alleged criminal elements, but you also see tenders playing a huge role in the way in which these alleged cartels function and thrive with one another. And it's clear in the alleged patterns that show up in the payments that Vusimuzi Kat Matlalo would make. The very first payment that he made a payment to Suliman Carrim, a portion of that, and then we saw that another portion went off to Morgan Maumela, allegedly. And it's about exploring those patterns, but also looking at Suliman Carrim's own alleged business dealings that point to alleged money laundering. Whether the Commission will be able to get to that particular evidence is something that remains in the air. It's clear that they need the auditor's information. They also need several financial records to complete that evidence, and they too need Suliman Carrim to come and answer to the allegations and these alleged suspicious transactions in his particular businesses, and that points to other alleged cartels that the Commission is exploring in terms of its terms of reference. So we await that particular judgment with respect, or ruling rather, with respect to Suliman Carrim, and the Commission is expected to return on Monday at 9:30 a.m. with the continuation of of the IDAC evidence through its head, Advocate Andrea Johnson, which is testimony that is already raising a lot of controversy surrounding its investigation into Lieutenant General Dumsani Khumalo, Brigadier Mukwele, and how the operational methods could allegedly lead to something more sinister. We'll find out what Advocate Andrea Johnson has to say about these particular developments when she continues on the stand on Monday at 9:30 a.m. It's over to you in studio.
All right, Canny Maphanga, they're wrapping the day for us, and speaking about Andrea Johnson, we'll be looking deeper into that particular, just evidence that she gave before the commission. A lot of questions, as Kenny says, emerging as far as this particular story is concerned. You think about that investigation into, the appointment of Brigadier General Mukwele coming into sharp focus. Yesterday, she had to even apologize for making that remark that she was a token appointment and calling into question her qualifications. So we'll be looking at some of that and what has come out as far as the, what Andrea Johnson, as the head of IDAC, has had to say to the Madlanga Commission. Of course, Canny Maphanga will be back with you even over the weekend with the wrap of the week at the Madlanga Commission.